Alright, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy RTY here, and today I'm here to bring you guys my Doflamingo deck profile. Um, this is from my first local playing as this deck. Haven't played Doflamingo prior to the starter decks coming out, so still learning, still testing, still doing a lot of experimenting. But we were able to do pretty well at our local on Friday, so I just want to bring you guys the deck profile and kind of show you my thoughts on the deck so far. My matchups were Doffy, Purple Luffy, Doffy. So three mirrors and a Purple Luffy. And I think my list is teched really, or does really well against everything, including the mirror. And we'll talk about that because the one thing I am playing is the Jozu package. So without further ado, let's get into it. So obviously our one drops are pretty simple. We are playing for Perona. I mean, I'll never drop that. Obviously, need the stackers. Playing for Sengoku, just being able to search for anything on our deck when we need it is pretty good. Also, Sengoku pretty important when going second. Say example, if you go Sengoku Perona, you can Sengoku if you have Jinbei in hand, search for the Weevil or vice versa or whatever, or Perona to also help you get there a turn earlier. So, you know, Sengoku very important. And then we're also playing Buggy. I am playing Buggy. I don't love it as much as Perona or even Sengoku. Just the fact that it can only put cards at the top of your deck and not the bottom. And it's a 2K counter makes this card pretty weak in comparison. So it's really here for the 2K purposes and then emergency having a stack. Like if I don't open a Perona, I will play Buggy instead. But that's fine. We're only playing 2 Cheech right now. And we might go to 3. I definitely don't want to play 4. But this card is very good and is very, very, very strong in the mirror. I do enjoy seeing it in the mirror, being able to, control board with Law and stuff like that with Teach is very strong. And it can really set you up for some very strong, powerful turns late game. I do prioritize playing Teach late game than early game. I just feel like this card is more important in the late game than it is early. If you play it early, like if my opponent plays it early, I'm salivating on my mouth because they're just immediately going down in hand size unless they're playing a Weevil off of it. But yeah, only 2 Teach at the moment. Playing 4 Gecko. I cut this card down to 2, and then I brought it back up to 4. Just because of the combos it has, the ability to be able to rebuild your board in one turn. You go Gecko. Pick up a Boa or pick up a Jinbei. Play Jinbei Boa is pretty absurdly strong, and then build a board back up with just the power spike of one card. It's not as strong as its black counterpart, but it's still very good. Then, of course, you're running 4 Jinbei, 4 Weevil. That's pretty standard. That'll never change. Jinbei Weevil, pretty busted. And then you're running 4 Boa. This card is also absurd. So as you'll notice, we jumped straight to 4s. We're not running any 3 costs. I think the 3 cost Doflamingo is just a waste now. You have so many stackers between Perona, Buggy, and Boa now, and even Teach himself, that you just don't need the 3 cost blocker. And Boa's not really even a blocker for the most part. Like early game, especially in the mirror, I'm swinging with her. She's just another 6K body to go alongside Weevil. So and then a blocker when I need her to be. But yeah, this card's insane. Does the stacking, does Don minus for you, and it's very strong in the mirror. In fact, in one of my games, I was at like 2 life, and I hit him down to 0. And then my hand was, before I even hit him down to 0, on my Tindon turn, I spent 4 for Boa. So stacked my deck, put 2 blockers down to make sure there was no way I died. And then it put 2 Don on my leader, and then I was able to leader swing and still play out a 3rd body, which happened to be a 3rd Boa, which is pretty hilarious. But yeah, Boa is pretty insane. And then finishing off the regular, we're running 4 Law. This card is so important. This is like the most important card in the deck, especially when it comes to the mirror. So, this combo with Teach, you could play this. Play it, Teach effect, swing, play it again. Very strong, very, very good. Combos well in Jinbei as well. So, definitely probably the most important card. Would never go below 4 of those. Jumping into the 2Ks, we're playing Weevil or Mihawk. This 2K is never changing. This is the only 2K that's for sure staying in the deck. You can switch between the Crocodile and the Law and the stuff like that, but I personally will never cut Mihawk. The deck is already consistent enough as is, but just that little extra bit of consistency where if this Mihawk lives and you get to swing 6 with it, help you filter, even dig deeper into your hand, into your deck, depending on what you need, is very strong. So, at the very least, this 2K is never leaving. And then the other 2K is the Law Bounce 2K. Very good in the mirror, being able to just help you get card advantage easily. And then, if you see this on Doffy swing and it's like the best card in your stack or the only playable card in your stack, it doesn't feel bad. You play it, swing 7, play it, probably get a card out of hand. You can force some interesting exchanges where you're like forcing them to take the life, or give you 2 cards out of hand to avoid this Law situation happening. Either way, you're pushing forward on your game plan. So, I really do enjoy this Law. And then we're playing 3 Pudding. Card is just so insane. Probably the best blue card. Absolutely need to see it in with the black-yellow matchup. Need to see it. It's very helpful in the mirror. Helpful against Whitebeard, French stuff as well. So very strong card. And then the difference maker in my deck is Jozu. This is a card in the mirror that's the only thing that can hit this card is if my opponent is also playing Jozu. So it's just another card that they can't bounce back with Law. And if they do, bounce it back, I get to bounce their Jozu back, which is funny because you can, say you already played a Pudding, you can Jozu, bounce Pudding back, play Pudding, get the Jozu out of their hand. So it's very strong. And then this is just constantly swinging at board for you all game as a 7K swing, or even swinging 7 at life. So I think Jozu very strong. And then lastly, I'm just running 2 Perfume Fumer. Now, I'm honestly not sold on this card, but I do think you need this card. Sometimes it feels like a brick in hand because I think you can win black-yellow without this matchup. I think since, as you guys may have noticed, I'm not playing any removal in my list. I'm not playing any Gravity Blade, and I'm not playing any Red Rock, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But I'm playing 2 Perfume, and this is here specifically for 8-cost Kid, the Bonnie matchup. Not even black-yellow. Sure, it's good in black-yellow, but it's not needed in that matchup. Whereas if they drop 8-cost Kid now on 8.5, and since we're not running Red Rock in our current list currently, that might change. Perfume Fumer hits, allows me to buff my leader, swing through the blockers, and swing 15 at the Kid. Probably is this deck's only option most of the time into Bonnie. So so we don't love this card, but I think we do need to keep it in here as a 2 of. So yeah, I mean, this is the list. We're not playing any removal, and we're not playing any anything special besides the Jozu. And Jozu really is shining for me in the mirror. And then also, most importantly, the Lucci matchup. I think this card goes so insane in the Lucci matchup because being able to bounce back a Sabo and keep playing aggressive is very helpful alongside, your Law being able to bounce back Rebekahs and stuff like that. That is the list. If I were to change anything from this specific list and this playstyle and how I want to play the deck, I might, cut something, probably like a Gecko or something to go to a 3 Teach, and maybe potentially something else for a Red Rock, maybe a Perfume Fumer or something for a Red Rock, just because I do think if we get to a point in time where we're playing against matchups with big bodies that we can't interact with, and we play the game slow enough that big body is impactful, the game's over without Red Rock. And the reason why I'm not choosing to play Gravity Blade is because I think that card is extremely win more. In any matchup where Gravity Blade is relevant, the Mirror, for example, if you play it when you're ahead, you're already winning. Honestly, you're slowing your tempo down by playing that card. But if you play it from behind, you're not really accomplishing anything. As the Doffy player saying, I got hit by Grav Blade twice in one of the matchups. And I was ecstatic to see it because it means he wasn't playing 2 or 3 bodies in one turn. So it doesn't help in the mirror when you're behind, and it only helps in the mirror when you're ahead. So I feel like it's very win more. So that's why I'm not running it. Red Rock, like I said, I probably need maybe one of in here to be able to deal with big bodies. But for the most part, that's the list that I'm running. I'm thoroughly enjoying this deck. Having a tier 1 deck in the meta that's consistent and not black has really, kept remotivated me to keep grinding this game. So I've been having a ton of fun with this deck, and I truly do think it is a ton of fun. So yeah, I hope you guys appreciate this deck, appreciated my deck list. If you did, leave a like down below, comment, and subscribe your thoughts on the list and what changes you would make. Yeah, and until then, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.